Good evening and thank you for joining us on the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachuku and here are the top stories. We'll begin from this very important news where Obasa speaks after return as Speaker Hills Akwande Oshoba adjourns plenary indefinitely. Resignations hit Lagos Assembly as Chief Whip Deputy stepped down. NNPCL reduces petrol price per litre. Policeman abducted along Abuja Highway. And 24 hours after welcoming Atiku, Jandor dumps People's Democratic Party. Details now. Thank you for staying with us. The Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, has expressed gratitude over his return as the state's number 3 man. He made this known today while speaking on the floor of the Assembly. Now, Obasa commended former Osun State Governor Bisi Akonde and former Ogun State Governor Olusegun Oshoba. He also praised the leaders of the Governor's Advisory Council for their support in facilitating his return. Obasa subsequently announced the indefinite adjournment on the Lagos State House of Assembly. Meanwhile, in a very recent development, the Chief Whip of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Setonji David, has stepped down from his position. David resigned to return to his previous role before the leadership crisis. However, he was subsequently renominated by Honorable Kainde Joseph as Deputy Whip, with Honorable Surajuddin Tijani second in the nomination. However, the Deputy Chief Whip also resigned from his position to allow Honorable David to assume his role. Meanwhile, Speaker Mojisola Lasbat Miranda has resigned her position as the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Miranda, who was the first female Speaker, resigned during plenary today. The Deputy Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Fatai Mujid, also resigned his position. Mujid, who read his resignation letter during plenary today, appreciated his colleagues for choosing him 49 days ago. Now, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has reduced its petrol pump price from 945 naira to 860 naira per litre. The reduction was confirmed based on observations from some retail outlets of the NNPCL, which have adjusted their meters accordingly. Though there is no official communication on the price reduction yet, some fuel marketers confirmed the development to newsmen. The National Vice President of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Hamid Fashola, who disclosed to newsmen, said that NNPCL is working on updating its portal with a new price. Also, the national president of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Billy Gillis Harry, confirmed the price reduction. He said they reduced the pump price earlier this morning. However, details are yet to be gotten. The development is coming a few days after Dangote Refinery announced a price cut. Recall, Dangote last week Wednesday announced a 65 naira reduction in the price of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol. The reduction in the ex-depot price from 890 naira to 825 naira per litre, which took effect on the 27th of February 2025. Under the new arrangement, buyers in Lagos would purchase fuel at 860 naira per litre, also at MRS outlets. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the provisional licenses for 11 new private universities in Nigeria. The approvals were given at the Federal Executive Council meeting, which was held today, being the 3rd of March. The approvals were granted based on President Tinubu's commitment to expanding the frontiers of education opportunities and infrastructures in the county. New County and New City University Ayetoro Ogun State, University of Fortune Ibotako Ondo State, Eranova University Mabushi, Minaret University Ikiru Oshun Annex, Abubakar Otoyin University Okeagba Kwara State, Southern Atlantic University Uyo Akwa Ibom State, Lens University Ilemona Kwara State, Monarch University Iyesi Ota Ogun State, Tony Iradia University of Communication Benin City, Isaac Balami University of Aeronautics and Management Lagos, Kevin Eze University Mbo Enugu State. However, the president hosted Sierra Leone's President Julius Maado Bio at the State House in Abuja. Bio arrived at the presidential villa at precisely 12 noon, where he was received by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. Upon his arrival, he was accorded a ceremonial welcome by the Presidential Guards Brigade, accompanied by traditional bagpipe music. In a very recent unfortunate development, an officer of the Nigerian Police Force, Modestus Ojebe, has been reportedly kidnapped by armed assailants along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. Today, being Monday, news outlets revealed that the Chief Superintendent of Police, who is attached to the Kwara State Police Command, was attacked while attempting to fix his vehicle, which broke down near Day Police Barracks in Abuja. According to counterinsurgency expert Zagazola Makaba, it stated, and I quote, while he was attempting to fix the vehicle, an ash-colored Mercedes-Benz with 4 armed occupants stopped behind him. The assailants searched and robbed Ojebe and his wife of their mobile phones and ATM cards. However, upon discovering his police identity card, they forced him to enter into their vehicle and sped off, leaving the wife and their car at the scene. However, reports indicate that at least 3 independent security sources, including police officers, confirmed the development to the newsmen today. However, details are still ongoing. Further also is the fact that the police public relations officer in the FCT, Josephine Ade, has not issued any official statement as at the time this report was filed. Pockets of kidnapping have been reported along the Abuja Expressway in the ongoing battle against insecurity. You're currently listening to the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. We'll take a very short break. When we return, we'll head into more news and a news analysis segment. Do kindly stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. This is still the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. The Rivers State House of Assembly 8 hours to present the 2025 budget to the lawmakers. The lawmakers gave the directive during plenary in Port Harcourt today. Also, security operatives, including the Department of State Services and the Nigerian Police Force, took over the Rivers State House of Assembly quarters, the venue for the sit-in. A strong detachment of armed security personnel was seen stationed at strategic points around the Assembly quarters earlier on this morning. The heightened security comes just days after the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Speaker Amawali and his colleagues, directing them to resume legislative activities after months of a power struggle over the control of the Assembly. Let's take a very brief listen to the Governor of Rivers State, and I'm speaking of Governor Sim Fubara, while he was addressing his statesmen, specifically before the commencement of him representing the 2024/2025 budget to the supposed House of Rep members.
I want us to look at Philippians 3, verse 18 to 19. And it reads, "For as I've often told you before, and now I tell you again, even with tears, many live as enemy of the cross of Christ. Their destiny is destruction, and their God is in their stomach. And their glory is in their shame. Their mind is set on earthly things only. I want to say here today and to assure everyone that has stood with us, our strength is not on earthly things. Our strength is in the supreme being. That even when we fail here, assuming has been contemplated, our victory is assured. Look, I want you to be in your highest spirit. It is not about who wins. It's about the glory and the honor of fighting gallantly. Being on the side of truth, not on the side of lies because of cheap favor. I want to assure you, all our supporters, I know the news that broke that on Friday must have dampened your spirit. Brace up. What is ahead is more than what we just passed. So, as a human being, I know you feel somehow, but just relax. God has our back. Our back is not on anybody, it's God. I want to thank you for your support and assure you that if there is one person on this planet Earth that will continue to stand by you, I will be that person. I assure you that I will lead you with honor. I will lead you with respect. And I will lead you with integrity. Knowing that when I leave here, I will have questions to answer. If I'm called upon 20 years, 30 years from today, I want to be proud to defend my position. So I thank you and assure you that I will not disappoint you.
You just listened to Governor Fubara of Rivers State right there speaking. A couple of persons feel he already sounds defeated. Meanwhile, the Deputy Chief Whip, Senator Onyekachi Nwaboye, has refuted the sexual harassment claims made by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Senator Natasha, representing Kogi Central, alleged that Akpabio made inappropriate advances towards her during a visit to his residence in December 2023 to celebrate his birthday. She further claimed that a similar incident occurred when she later visited his office to discuss her motion on their Qtrs Steel Company. However, Senator Nwaboye, who attended the birthday event, dismissed these claims, asserting that Akpabio never approached Senator Natasha in such a manner. Now, I currently have right here in the studio Mr. Peter Anosike, who is a political, national and social affairs commentator. Mr. Peter Anosike will be giving us his insight on some questions that will be posed at him right now on the World News at 6. Mr. Peter, good evening and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's first of all start off with this imbroglio in Lagos State. I, for one, I was surprised. A couple of analytics like yourself were not surprised at the development today. Right now, if the members of the Lagos State House of Assembly knew that they did not have any evidence to back up their financial misappropriation claims against Obasa, why that cool-like move? That's one question. The second question is, I remember the last time I interviewed you, you said that this whole thing is a script from Abuja. If the president did not authenticate the processing to impeach Obasa, how come they went ahead to impeach him? Number 3. They went to court to defend their stance that indeed Miranda is the Speaker of the House and they do not want Obasa to return. Are we saying that they could not wait for the court to process the entire proceeding and give a verdict? How do you react to this development?
Well, for me, I remember saying a day after that impeachment that Obasa would be will be back, because Lagos is a captured state.
Why would you say Lagos is a captured state?
There's an emperor overseeing this state, so it is captured. It is not free. It is not like the other states. Understand me? Here we are not practicing democracy. Rather, we are practicing a government or a leadership of one man.
Wow.
Because democracy is a government that's by the majority.
Okay.
That's the will of the people. But what we are having here is the will of one man.
Interesting.
That is why 36 people will impeach somebody. One man will say, no, go back. Even upon that the case has not been determined in the court. That shows you that the democracy is not going on in this state, that we are practicing this is an authoritarian state.
Mr. Peter Anosike, my surprise was if at the end of the day Obasa would return as a Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker, what was the entire ruckus all about? We saw the DSS come around the Lagos State House of Assembly. We saw how the police, blocked his home, did not allow his wife and kids come out. We saw how the DSS operatives surrounded the entire Lagos State House of Assembly. Obasa supporters were taken to the police station. It was an embarrassing ruckus. If all of that event took place, and some people feel that the event was scripted, and then after all of that they stripped him off of his security details, they later gave him back his security details, stormed the Lagos State House of Assembly without supposedly the permission of the Governor's Advisory Council, whom obviously had said that they were carried along in the impeachment process. So the whole thing is scattered, it's disoriented. And if you say that there is an emperor who coordinated this process, so an emperor coordinated the disorganization of the entire process, there were financial misappropriation allegations, no petition was written to that effect, we were expecting the EFCC to come on board, no EFCC came on board. So all of that ruckus was for what? Nothing. At the end of the day, Obasa returned as a Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. What will happen to the others who were part of those that went ahead to impeachment? What will happen to them?
Well, the issue is a clear message has been sent. Don't mess up with the emperor. Don't mess up with the emperor. So
what do you mean by don't mess up with the emperor? If the emperor was the one who scripted this entire ordeal from the onset, are we saying now that it's the same emperor that allowed all of this disproportionate attitude in the Lagos State House of Assembly and then his eventual return?
The emperor is a human being. He had a change of mind. Really? He had a change of mind. I told there's no way you can impeach a high-profile person in Lagos State House of Assembly without Tinubu being aware of it. Okay. It cannot happen. It cannot happen. Even before a local government chairman or LCDA chairman emerges, he must sign it. Understand me? An instance, Lagos State will be having their local government election in few months' time. Okay. What everybody is waiting now is what is Tinubu's desire. Understand? Will those who have served one term go for second term? Understand me? Or are they going to have a fresh election? So nothing happens in Lagos without Tinubu's permission. So that's why I said that this is a captured state.
It's quite unfortunate that we are experiencing this.
I told you here that before the DSS can move in, that the governor has no power over the DSS.
I remember hearing that the governor tried to see the president last week or 2 or 3 occasions, but he was denied access to the president. What does that mean? That the president isn't happy with him? And then at the end of the day, are we saying that Obasa is more powerful than the governor of Lagos State?
Well, Obasa was elected first in 2007.
Okay.
Understand? That's into the Lagos State House of Assembly, 2007, and 2015 he emerged speaker. And by 2018,
okay,
Sanwo-Olu was just a civil servant. He was the general manager of NSDPC,
okay,
which means Obasa is more closer to the president, to Tinubu, than Sanwo-Olu. Understand me? And the issue, what rules the word is interest.
Obviously,
Is interest. So Obasa and Sanwo-Olu, who do I need more? Who will serve my interest more? And Obasa is perceived as a grassroots politician. Understand me?
He knows how to mobilize.
I said perceived. Okay. Understand me? At times, what we imagine doesn't become a reality. There's a lot of hypes here and there. Okay. So he is perceived to be a grassroots politician, and the president is interested in running in 2027. The
president is interested in running in 2027.
Sure.
So he's looking for the stronger person that can enable that.
I said it.
So, Mr. Peter Noske, what happened to all the monies that they said and the largesse that they said this man had enjoyed, the frivolous financial activities he had immersed himself in, the ostentatious lifestyle, properties, and all that was mentioned? So, are we saying the EFCC will turn a blind eye to all of that accusation? And if indeed this accusation, because according to Obasa, he said, if it's true, then, let them prove it. So will they say all they said without any proof? Why I'm really concerned about this is law and order was broken down. A process began that a couple of persons feel was constitutional. And then all of a sudden it was revoked. You went to court. You did not wait for a court order. You stormed the Lagos State House of Assembly. Your security details were returned to you. The female speaker who was reinstated after you were impeached, her security detail was stripped off. No communication whatsoever. We saw the entire drama play out with DSS operatives surrounding the Lagos State House of Assembly. All of this could have been avoided if indeed Obasa will return to Lagos State House of Assembly. What kind of era is this? At what point in our political dispensation that people can do things anyhow and no recourse, bureaucrats?
Well, for me, what happened from day one, it's not a surprise to me, and Nigeria has ceased to surprise me.
Nigeria has ceased to surprise you. Have you ever experienced anything like this before?
Nigeria has ceased to surprise me. The truth is that the first lady said that he stopped EFCC from arresting Obasa when Obasa returned to Nigeria.
Yes.
She said so.
She said so.
It's in the public space that she stopped EFCC from arresting Obasa so that there will not be crisis in APC in Lagos State. Imagine that statement. Number two, Obasa went to court. He has not withdrawn that case. Understand me? Then the 34 House of Assembly members that impeached went to court. Court has not determined that case.
Exactly.
So for you to know the magnitude of impunity that is going on.
I don't understand.
For you to know the magnitude of impunity that is going on in the state. So this is even worse than military. This is worse than military regime. What happened within this 2-3 weeks is worse than military government.
Wow.
That's why I said that this is a captured state.
So the president, who is the head of the Governor's Advisory Council? Is it the president?
No, he is just he is the patron.
He's a patron.
But life patron.
Life patron. What do you mean by life patron? Like forever?
Forever and ever.
So it's possible that he had ordered lawmakers to return Mr. Obasa to office. However, the crisis still lingers as colleagues are afraid that the leader might target them in retribution. Obasa has said he's not going to do anything to anybody. So my question is, if according to you, or according to the analysis, that all of this entire ordeal was a particular directive from, the president. Let's just say that the directive is from the president, possibly because they asked Obasa to apologize to the governor, and then he did not do so. And the president was not happy with the method with which the entire impeachment process went on and occurred. You now ask them to return him. So all the 37 lawmakers that went to court, the court that they went to last week is for nothing. Is that what we are saying? The court that they went to
the case
last week is for nothing.
Has not been determined.
So are they going to withdraw it now?
Waive it off. They can. No, they will not even go that to it again. All is well. Everybody has moved on.
This doesn't make sense.
Watch it. All is well. Everybody has moved on. Or the wish of the emperor has been carried out. So everybody's sin is forgiven.
Well, critics are slamming the president's order seeking Obasa's reinstatement, although the presidency has not come out to say that they ordered his reinstatement. But the whole idea for Obasa's reinstatement is from the Governor's Advisory Council, saying for the sanity of the...
Excuse me.
Okay.
Governor's Advisory Council don't have control over the security details. Governor's Advisory Council don't have control over the security details. It is only the IGP that can demobilize security details or send security details. Okay. So for Obasa's security detail to be reinstated, it's from Abuja.
Interesting.
For Miranda's security details to be withdrawn, it's from Abuja. Understand me? Even the governor here cannot do such a thing.
Well, a member of the council, Muraina Akombitai, was stated that moves to reinstate Mr. Obasa would be rejected, insisting that Mr. President Tinubu is not God. So if they said that moves to reinstate Obasa would be rejected and that Tinubu is not God, now that he has returned, what does that say? Does that defy his reaction?
I say from highest, next week everything will move on as if nothing happened. That's Nigeria for you.
Well, many Nigerians have taken to social media to criticize the reinstatement of Mudashiru Obasa as the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Obviously, after weeks that surrounded, his removal, Obasa was obviously re-elected by the same persons who had actually impeached him. And now they're saying that they can now agree on the person who is in charge of Lagos government and the entire Southwest. They can now agree the person who is in charge. And they're now asking, stating, these are social critics, that Nigeria may be in President Tinubu's pocket for life if he's not voted out. And some citizens, I don't want to say all citizens, some citizens are condemning Obasa's return as the Lagos Speaker, saying that it undermines the authority of the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. It undermines the authority or the constitutional rights of the House of Assembly members who went on with the impeachment process in the first place. It undermines the autonomous, script of the Lagos State House of Assembly. If a major decision like this can be taken, and over the night somebody says, all of that you did is for nothing, reinstate him.
No, one day we are told right and apology, okay, and they accepted. Well, the issue is the foundation is where everything starts. Okay. How did you get your nomination ticket? Understand me? That's where it all started. How did you get your nomination ticket? In River State, Nyesom Wike said that he bought the nomination ticket for everybody in River State. So from the beginning, you have compromised. Understand me? You have lost your voice, you've lost your power, you've lost your essence as a human being from the beginning. So when the GAC decide who will be elected and who will not be elected. So you don't have that power from the beginning. So how did they emerge? That's why we talk about process. How, understand me? Okay. How can the 34 people backing you have the majority and you are resigning? Understand me? You have a house of 40 people, 34 is backing you, and you say, I want to resign.
Okay.
So is this democracy? It is not. Because you are with the masses, you are with the numbers.
Okay.
But the numbers cannot even protect you. So it is not the democracy that we are practicing. And it is a very bad precedent.
Very, very bad.
I keep on saying the 7 grades that we have in Nigeria is that the person at the top, age is not on his side. If not, we will be having a Paul Biya, Museveni, and Paul Kagame in Nigeria.
Quite an interesting one. Mr. Peter Anoski, let's quickly go to Rivers State. I'm sure you heard me play the audio when the Rivers State governor was having to commission a project that they had started, I think, early last year that they had commissioned. And he sounded like he had been defeated, because at some point he said the least that can happen is that, he'll be impeached or he'll be asked to step down. It's not a problem. He was trying to encourage his people. Do you think that he acted against the rules of engagement, or he acted unconstitutional for not obeying the court order earlier by not representing that budget? Secondly, Nigerians are apprehensive as to how the political situation in Rivers State would take place. I interviewed Barrister Liberos Ashoma yesterday, and Barrister Liberos Ashoma quite actually was abrasive towards Governor Fubara. He said Governor Fubara was refused to obey the court order, and his own view was completely different from how a lot of analysis have come from the situation in Rivers. What do you think will happen from here on?
For me, it seems as if the author of that Philippines was looking at Nelson Wike while writing that book.
Okay.
Because the description fits Wike perfectly. That the only understand me. So it seems that the author must have looked at Nelson Wike's lifestyle.
But he has been given 48 hours to represent that budget. So, otherwise, he could be impeached. The DSS were around the legislative quarters early this morning.
So for me, saying that the Fubara did not obey court order, I don't believe it.
Okay.
Because even as I'm sitting down here, Amawende and his gang are not members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, because they defected. As I'm sitting here.
Why did the Supreme Court reserve judgment of those defected lawmakers? I mean, the Supreme Court should have been able to have said something regarding that before asking that budget be represented to a properly constituted State House of Assembly.
So, at that point in time, when the budget was to be presented, it is only 4 people that were legitimate members. Only 4 people.
Okay. So,
what would the governor do? Will he present a budget to a house of people who are not legally members? The answer is no. The answer is no. So now I know Nigerians are guided by their stomach, not by their senses. People who were supporting Fubara before will now begin that to change anywhere. Benefits. Understand me? That's why Nigeria is not moving forward. Understand? As we speak, as I'm sitting down here now, Amawende and the 26 others are not members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Because constitutionally, they defected to APC. And once you defect, you lose your ticket.
Mr. Peter,
there's already precedents.
Okay, Mr. Peter Anosike, in that regard, do you think we've ever had it bad with the political imbalance and the, will I say, the disposition of justice from the courts? I mean, Nigerians felt that the previous administration was worse. How do you consider law and order now? How law is applied to a majority and does not apply to a few? How political bureaucrats can use the court system for whatever personal purposes and nothing happens? Have we ever had it this bad?
Well, from 2 years ago, I've been saying that we are in an era of impunity. We are in an era of impunity. Understand me?
Okay.
And so that's why I say nothing will surprise me in this country. Absolute nothing.
Interesting. In the same vein, Natasha Akpote's allegation against Senator Godswill Akpabio, it's a very serious situation for the Senate president to be accused of sexual allegations. And yesterday, we heard from the spokesperson of the National Assembly that no petition has been written whatsoever against Senator Godswill Akpabio concerning the sexual harassment, and because of that, there is no investigation ongoing in that regard. Also, Senator Nwabonyi, who also was part of the persons who attended the birthday event, came out to tell us that nothing of such happened during the tour of the senator's house, as Natasha had alleged that the senator held her hand and told her that these are part of the things she would enjoy if, they're able to get close, when she was narrating her sexual harassment ordeal on national television. Now, a couple of people feel that Senator Natasha Akpote wouldn't come out to make such an egregious allegation against the Senate president if she did not have her evidence and if she wasn't convinced. I was saying, after all of this, no investigation will be carried out. All of these allegations will be swept under the carpet, and Godswill Akpabio will remain as the Senate president without any investigation ongoing to either clear or clarify all of those allegations. And if they were found to be false, the due measures or punitive measures will be carried out on the person who accused.
Well, for me, I keep on saying, we have court of law and court of conscience. We have court of law and court of conscience. Court of law, when they acquit the Senate president, the ethics of the Senate, the ethics committee will acquit him. Understand me? Okay. That the argument, that the accusation is business.
Okay.
But the court of conscience know that what Natasha said is true. Because for me, that's already a precedent. There's already a precedent. So the Nwabonyi or whatever that is claiming should bring us a CCTV evidence that he was maybe Natasha's bodyguard or Akpabio's bodyguard and follow them around until the event ends. Understand me?
Okay.
So if he can tell us that he acted as a bodyguard for either Akpabio or for Natasha on that day, we know that nothing really happened there on that particular day. But there's no way this woman would just come out and begin to rant what she doesn't have evidence.
Detailed experiences,
and
events.
Again saying there's no petition or whatever. Why did they refer the matter to the ethics committee?
Well, for Natasha, they referred it to the ethics committee, but what they are telling us now is that no investigation will be carried out against it because nobody has written any petition. I would have expected Natasha to actually write a petition. At least anybody can write a petition for an investigation to be carried out. So it's possible that maybe some persons are talking to her to drop all of this and issues will be resolved. But from now henceforth, do you think Natasha would deliberately be isolated in the National Assembly because of what happened, considering the fact that it is it's more dominated by the men? The National Assembly is more dominated by the men.
We should be thinking of the big picture.
What's the big picture?
Understand me? silencing her, discriminating against her, is suffering the good people of Kogi Central. Understand? Because she is not there by herself. So. She is representing people that have problems. And she is there to bring their problems to the Senate for them to solve it. So it is not Natasha that they are going to suffer. They should have this at the back of their mind. Okay. It is not Natasha that they are going to suffer. They are going to suffer the people of Kogi State.
All right.
Natasha is comfortable. Natasha is rich. So whatever they are going to do to her, it is the people of Kogi that they are doing it. If she brings a bill to the house and they shoot it down, it is not her. It is the people that she is representing.
Okay. Mr. Peter Anosike, thank you so much for taking your time and giving us your insights into some questions posed at you on the World News at 6. I sincerely do appreciate your input.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And just before we go, here are some foreign stories. French President Emmanuel Macron has disclosed that after European leaders rallied around Ukraine at a summit in London, that France and Britain were proposing a 1-month truce in Ukraine, in the air, at sea, and on energy infrastructure. Such a move is to allow proof of the goodwill of Russian President Vladimir Putin if he commits to a truce. However, Britain, which hosted the summit, stepped back from embracing the plan today, with Armed Forces Minister Luke Pollard telling several media outlets that no truce agreement had been made. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer disclosed on Sunday that European leaders had agreed to draw up a Ukraine peace plan to present to the United States without going into details. Macron said in an interview that under the plan, European ground troops would only be deployed to Ukraine in a second phase. For Ukraine, any agreement must include security guarantees. Meanwhile, at least one person have died and several were injured after a car drove into a crowd in the German city of Mannheim near Frankfurt. A suspect has been arrested today, according to local police. An operation is underway in Mannheim city center and citizens should avoid the area. Tabloid Bild Zeitung reported that 2 people died and at least 14 were injured. German news service also suspect that the suspect is a German citizen. The incident happened less than 3 weeks after a 24-year-old Afghan male drove into a labor union demonstration in Munich and injured dozens of people. 2 people, including a 2-year-old child, died in a hospital after the attack. And now to wrap up the world news at 6, here again are the top stories. You heard that Obasa speaks after return as Speaker hails Akonde Oshoba adjourns plenary indefinitely. You also had in a very recent development that there is an off-sweep of resignations which hit the Lagos State House of Assembly as Chief Whip deputies stepped down. NNPCL recently disclosed that petrol price has reduced. You also heard stately in the World News at 6 that the president has approved licenses for 11 new private universities in Nigeria. And you also heard as well that police officer was kidnapped on Abuja Highway. That's a wrap on the World News at 6. My name is Esther Wachuku. Good evening and thank you for listening. Do stay with us for the evening rush at precisely 7 o'clock.